Mike, it's Mike and Don. How you doing?
Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
We're doing great. All right, let's start off with the Hall of Fame thing. Don and I have long said, why is this guy not in the Hall of Fame? Is this something that weighs on you? Is this something that you expect to happen the next time? How do you think about this, Mike?
I've actually just sort of, let the process play out, really. I mean, it's difficult because obviously, I guess it's in a sense that your body of work is finished and you just allow it, for the critics to go up there and do what they have to do. But I found as a player, you just have to, as I've said, let the process play out. I mean, I've mentioned many times that with DiMaggio was 3 ballots and Yogi Berra was 3 ballots, and it's just one of those things that the 90s, as you can see now, with all the quality pitching that's already in the Hall, is there's some really tremendous ball players that came out of that era. So it is what it is. I just try to just let the process play out and just be cautiously optimistic, and that's pretty much all you can do.
Do you think it's inevitable, though, that it'll happen?
Well, I hope so. I mean, again, as I look at my body of work, I mean, in an historical context, I'm very proud of, what I did on the field offensively and even a little bit defensively. I mean, I had a lot of fun behind the plate, and it was a part of my game that obviously it was very underrated, I feel, as personally, because I really enjoyed working with the staff. I mean, you and Al obviously are very close, and we had so much fun. And those are the things for me that I really enjoyed as getting better behind the plate and having pitchers be confident in me, even though I didn't maybe have the skills of some of the more athletic catchers, but I enjoyed it very much. But yeah, so it's just something historically I'm proud of what I have accomplished.
Now, you mentioned Al Leiter, and he has always told me, he said, Piazza gets a bad rap as a catcher. He was a great receiver, a great game caller. Maybe he didn't throw the ball like Johnny Bench, but he was a great catcher. What does that mean to you, or do you not care what Al says?
Well, as you know, Al, he says a lot.
He does.
Yeah, you have to kind of filter a little bit what he says. But obviously on the field, Al was, one of the most competitive guys, and that's very, as I said, I'm proud of him saying that, and it's something that I enjoyed working with Al, and we always sort of connected and had found time to have fun as well. I mean, we also tried to have fun. So, but yeah, I mean, and I feel maybe that I hit well and I was in the middle of the lineup actually worked against me a little bit behind the plate because I was obviously expected to be in there a lot, and offensively it was tough. I mean, Tommy Lasorda always made that joke. He said, I don't have a bat long enough for you to hit from the bench. So he never wanted me out of the game, but it was challenging and it was fun, and I enjoyed it. I mean, there was little things that I felt I did pretty well, like block the plate, like catch pop-ups, and as you mentioned, calling a game and just trying to get the pitcher in a groove. My staff ERA was always pretty low and one of the most competitive in the league. So that was the fun part for me, and yeah. So for him to say that, it's very flattering.
And then everybody's talking about you now based on what Cespedes has done since the trading deadline. Now you came over in May, Mike, so it wasn't the same,
sure,
but you still came over as being a savior, right? I mean, you still came here as the guy that was supposed to lead the Mets to the promised land. How did you handle that? Was it overwhelming at times?
Yeah, it was. But I tried to, I think it really comes down to, and I think this is what, as you mentioned, Cespedes, I mean, it comes down to really your teammates rallying around you and behind you and helping you. And even though I felt there was times where I was expected, obviously, to carry a huge load of the team, but I also knew we had great role players and guys supporting me. I mean, guys like Lenny Harris during the 2000 season, kept me loose and was always joshing me. And so you have to find ways to sort of alleviate that pressure, and you have to have guys around you that really have fun and keep you loose, and you have a tough game, pick you up if you ground into a double. I always laughed. One of the funny stories when I hitting behind John Olerud when I first got here and I was struggling, and I remember him having like this 6-pitch 3-2 count and would take like this ball three, and I'm like, and I would walk up and then hit into he'd eventually walk and I'd hit into a double play, and a couple of times I'd be on deck and I'd be like, damn, Johnny, swing the bat for once, like knock somebody in. because he was an amazing hitter and so much fun to hit behind. But he'd have like these amazing at bats and then take like this borderline pitch and end up walking. Then I'd go and hit into a double play and get booed off the field. So those memories were fun. But you also have to look at it as a challenge. And when I did struggle here, it was, as you know, recently. I mean, with just playing in New York. I mean, it's definitely tough. You're going to have a lot of off the field attention, and the media is very, could be overwhelming at times, and you have to find a way to channel that and eventually, as I said, make you a better player.
You got the Subway Series starting tomorrow. What did that series every year mean to you? A lot of the Yankees felt it put too much pressure on a team in a regular season game, but this series means something other than just the Subway Series.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we always looked forward to it. I mean, as you well know, being with the Yankees for many years, I mean, I think we always felt like the David to Goliath type of thing. So we got up for those games, and as you said, I think the Yankees at times felt like that it was just a tougher situation. Not that they didn't have the talent, and we always had really, really fun, competitive games. But, yeah, I felt, we always got, at least for me personally, I enjoyed those games very much. And from a historical perspective, I very much enjoyed playing in Yankee Stadium, aside from getting to the World Series. So it was just so much fun to play in Yankee Stadium because of the history. So my adrenaline really got up, and I sort of found myself concentrating and really wanting to refine my game, and not that you don't normally, but just, how can you not say when you're playing in Yankee Stadium, you get excited. And even when I got booed by the Yankees fans, I took it as a flattering boo. It was really got me going. So it was definitely a lot of fun, those series.